Okay. You know, Neil was so kind to, and Anthony have both been so gracious in thanking us for agreeing to do this and be a part of it. But you know, I would like to thank them because I think it just means a lot that they would ask us, and obviously I get why they did. But as I said, I just have such tremendous respect for Anthony and Chris and the courage that they've shown throughout you know, what has to be an immeasurably difficult time these last couple of years. So there's so many things that are bigger. I think as you get older, you realize there's so many things that are bigger than what you do. And if we could in some way, you know, play a part in any type of healing or certainly raising money for what is a tremendous cause around the spotlight of and the cause that Anthony and Chris have started. We're glad to do that. We're grateful to do that. We're grateful to be asked to do it. And, yeah, we'll get that.
Chris, what ultimately will you take for this experience? You get obviously emotional about what this is about and what this means, but also get feedback from your team. It almost feels silly asking basketball questions, given what this is all about. But what will you take from this experience?
Well, you know, I think both teams were playing different rotations, but I do think you know, playing in a different environment, and obviously we understand how challenging this environment is to play in normal circumstances. But I just think the chance to play against a different environment. You know, I know Anthony felt the same way we did, is we were just really ready to compete against somebody else. And I think for us, that was, you get a chance to compete against somebody else, and what I think is a team that's going to have a good year, and to look at different lineups. And I'm sure he, you know, in a regular game is going to play, you know, his guys, certain guys more, and our rotation may look a little bit different. But all in all, I think you take some. You know, I told the guys before the game, there's nothing that can come out of this experience that isn't positive as long as we handle it the right way in terms of our approach and handle the adversity of the game, figure it out together. And you know, they were well aware of why we were doing this and the reason behind it. We had that conversation pretty extensively. So, but I think the basketball stuff, we could just, you know, we got to, both of us, Anthony and I, got to learn just a little bit more about our group. You know, there's no grand statements coming out of an exhibition, but a little bit more.
Do you coach differently at all? Given that, like you said, you're trying some things out, and I'm sure you want to win, you're a competitor, but also the game was about a little bit more than just the X's and O's. Like, how did you coach this game compared to how you might normally coach a game?
Yeah, I think you do coach a little bit different in exhibitions. You get caught up a little bit in the midst of the game, and you know, playing it to win. And the reality is you are, but you also there's more important things to Adam in a game like this that you want to get out than winning. You want to look at different rotations. You want to see how guys respond to different situations. You want to see how they respond to how they're being guarded and defended. And they did some good things against the press tonight, and that was good for us to see. They rebounded the ball well. We have to get considerably better in those areas. So I think all those things we can really take from it, really regardless of the score.
Chris, you know that roles are important, rotations are important, but
Yeah.
some coaches talk about blend being important too, especially early in the year. Were you able to see and get a little bit of sense of that tonight, the blend of things?
Yeah, I think so. You know, it's likely to look a little bit different once we get to playing. We started two different lineups, as you know, both halves. We started two different lineups, so I don't know if that's a common thing we'll do throughout the year. But I've said I don't know that we'll play necessarily 10 or 11 guys. I think we'll probably play a little bit of a shorter rotation at times this year, and you don't always get to see that in exhibition, but it was good to be able to play. I think we ended up playing 11 guys, but 9 or 10 fairly consistently.
Yeah, this was a pretty efficient shooting performance, 55% as a team from the field, and especially for, key guys, Bruce and Jamison, really efficient shooting the ball. What can you take from this exhibition in that area and apply that you did well to start the season?
I thought our ball movement was really good. I thought our body movement was really good for the most part. And we got to continue to get better at that because they're a good defensive team. And obviously when Holmes plays his traditional minutes, they give he's at the basket. He's a problem with his length and just ability to move. He's a problem offensively and defensively. So I think all in all, we were able to move it pretty effectively. And when they were trimming it to 5 and 3 and 2, I thought we had some really quality possessions. We had some loose possessions there too with some new guys that we got to get better with. But overall, I like the quality of our offensive possessions. But listen, the first thing we're going to look at is we have to rebound better and where were we defensively? And I thought we had some good defensive possessions.
Comments there, Rob?
Ohio State hasn't played here in a long, long time, and I know the Dayton fans are real excited to get you guys back in here. How do you feel the experience was with the environment, with the arena, and how do you think your guys did in some of those moments when the crowd really turned up a little bit?
Well, I give their administration, Neil's in the back there, I give their administration a lot of credit just because of I thought it was, they made it clear kind of what this game was about. Listen, we all know this, all right? Anybody who follows college basketball understands this is one of the great environments in college basketball. It is, bar none. Like, I've coached college basketball for over 25 years, and for 25 years, I've known that this place is one of the greatest basketball environments in the sport. So to be able to do a home and home, it was hard to get out of the arena without several of them grabbing me and asking me, if we had signed the contract for the next home and home agreement yet. But it's something we'll definitely consider, especially, as I've talked about, we love to play good teams, top 50 net teams in home and homes, NCAA tournament teams, and that's what I believe this Dayton team will be this year.
Jeff?
How'd you feel Felix matched up with Holmes?
Well, I thought both he and Zed did a good job. I thought Zed just being a little bit stronger and more physical at times where it was able to impact him. But I thought Felix did some good things. He hit a couple threes there early, one off an offensive rebound and one off our pick and roll coverage. And we have a secondary coverage that we would have looked at if he would have continued to make it. But we were okay with him shooting a few of those. But he's a really good player. He's going to have a really good year. And he's a load. He's a load on both ends.
Steve?
Yeah, Bruce, it seemed like, didn't attack it in the first 4-minute segment.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I got to force this shot up, and then it came to him kind of in waves after that. Just kind of a quiet 21 points. How do you put it?
Yeah, it was too tentative to start the game.
Okay.
We ran an action for him there early, and he's got to come off that thing and shoot it. He just was. Bruce is now a sophomore. He's one of our leaders. He's got to set the tone on both ends from the jump. But you're right. He was terrific throughout the game. With the exception of that start.
If I can just add, the two other guys in that lineup, I think Battle people figured would play, but Matt, what have those two guys shown you, I guess, to say earn that, or however you put it, to put them out there to start the game?
Evan, specifically?
Mahaffey and Battle, yeah, but
Oh.
Battle we figured, I suppose,
Yeah.
but.
No, I think Evan's gonna play an important role for us. He's got to be able to rebound the ball better defensively, but he's a really good passer. He's an exceptional ball handler at his size. He's smart. Defensively, he picks things up well. He is, he's just a kid that I think is going to continue to grow. You know, the thing you forget about him is a sophomore. The reason we were excited about getting him is because we feel like he's got a high upside, Steve. And what we'll see with him this year, I think, will be entirely different next year as he continues to get better.
Dayton fans were asked to be nice to the Buckeyes. The circumstances of the game being what it was, not to heckle you guys. Did you hear anything? I did not. Did you guys hear anything?
No, the Dayton fans were incredible. They didn't need to be too nice, they didn't need to be too nice. But I appreciate how hospitable this place was. There was a sign out there that we noticed right away. So yeah, they were great. But I think what makes this place special is obviously is the fans. I mean, the arena's great, but when you fill it with 13,000, is that what it is? 13,000. It makes it such a special college basketball environment. They were tremendous. Kudos to them for being a part of this and selling it out. Raising money for a tremendous cause.
Coach, thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, our guys